So, have you ever had a day where you felt like everything was going wrong? I had a really bizarre experience today where I tried to go shopping and I went in the shop and got all my stuff, got to the tills and couldn't actually pay for it, and then had to it was fairly embarrassing because it was pretty busy and my payment system didn't work. Let's put it like that, okay? Or maybe it was longer than a day. Maybe it wasn't just a day. Maybe it was a week. Maybe it was a month. Maybe it was even longer. Where it just felt like everything was going wrong, and actually it felt like you couldn't get it right. It was just something about you. Maybe it was just like you just kept messing up, you kept making mistakes, and you just feel like a failure. I definitely have days like this, and um, when I became a Christian, okay, in my teenage years, okay, it was all brand new. I wasn't brought up in a Christian home. We didn't normally go to church, all right. So it was everything was a bit foreign to me. I'd never properly read the Bible. I barely even sort of prayed before, and so I had to learn this stuff. But there was a bunch of stuff. There was also a bunch of stuff that I was learning that I've realised was wrong. Things the Bible calls sin. Okay, and I was beginning to learn when I became a Christian. I was beginning to learn that to follow Jesus meant that I had to give up some of those things and stop doing some of those things and start doing some new things and living my life in a different way. And sometimes that was really cool. Like I loved there was a new energy about me, a new life about me, and some of that I really enjoyed. But some of it was actually quite hard. Like I loved going to church actually. I found that really great experience. I loved learning about Jesus and seeing him at work in my life. But yeah, sometimes it was really hard too, and sometimes I just got it really, really wrong. There were things that I felt tempted with that I couldn't kind of seem to give up, and um, like I just messed up sometimes, like properly messed up and got it wrong. And not only did I get it wrong, but I hurt people in the process too. In fact, I remember sometime or one at least one occasion, if not two or three times, where someone came up to me and said, "Oh, call yourself a Christian." Or I thought you were a Christian. So even they who weren't Christians expected me to live in a different way, and I was just getting it wrong. So it was obvious that I was just doing a bad job of being like Jesus. And I remember I went through this really tough time. I just thought I'm just a mess. It was, and the problem when you get in that sort of negative cycle of thinking, it's hard to sort of pull out of it. Like you just think, oh, I'm just rubbish. I'm no good. It's blah, 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 blah. It just colours everything you think, and then you get so low, which means you're more likely to mess up and get it wrong again. So it just goes round in circles. I just thought I'm a rubbish Christian. I thought I can't get this right at all. God must think I'm a real screw up, And I even got to the point where how long is he even going to put up with me? How many times before I've totally blown it and he's going to turn his back on me? And then I discovered this amazing, amazing verse. It's literally, for me, it's one of the coolest Bible verses out there. I so love it. And it's from 1 Peter 2, and it says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. Once you were not a people, but now you are the people of God. Once you had not received mercy, but now you have received mercy." So, despite my screw ups, despite me getting it wrong and even hurting people, God doesn't say I'm a failure. He doesn't say I'm a screw up. In fact, it says the opposite. It says, I am chosen by him. I am royalty. I am holy. I am his special possession. And this hasn't always been the case. Sometimes we like to say, well, God just loves everyone and we're all God's children. But no, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says is that we are separated away from him. But when we turn to him, he brings us into his care. So when I said yes to Jesus, when I gave my life to him, when I was able to receive his mercy over my life, then all my wrongs are forgiven and I have a new life. And it's not because of me, it's not because I'm a fantastic person, it's all on Jesus and his work on the cross. So, because of that, I am holy, I am royalty, I am his special possession. And that means even when I get it wrong, that doesn't change what God thinks about me. He still loves me. I am in his wonderful light. So if you're feeling like you're a failure, I just want to encourage you to receive God's mercy. Tell him that you're sorry. Commit to following him. Receive his forgiveness.